You're listening to the Jewish Entrepreneur Podcast with Debbie Sasson, episode 133. Welcome to the Jewish Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Debbie Sasson. I went from being a financial advisor, author, and chronic underearner to building my business to six figures as a financial planner and money mindset coach, and then onto multiple six figures as a full-time money and business coach. I help entrepreneurs create money-making businesses and build wealth using sales and money mindset strategies and in alignment with authentic Jewish values. Now, let's dive in to today's show. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the podcast, and welcome back to me to Israel. I arrived back home in Israel this week, just a few days ago, and I stepped right back into my business because I had 3 business conferences while I was away, and I also had a week of time off with my family that was so important to me. It was rejuvenating, revitalizing, and my dad, he's just live and be well. He's about to have his 86th birthday in July, God willing. He had a back operation in March, and I went to spend some really good quality time with my dad and my stepmom and be there for them. And we took walks by the beach. We were also babysitting my brother's dog because he had to go away for a few days. Now, that was not so relaxing. Beautiful dog. But having a dog is another responsibility. My kids are enough. I'm never, I hope, going to have a dog. I had them growing up. I love dogs, but I don't want to take care of another animal. Anyway, I went right back into work, and today I gave a masterclass on 5 pricing myths you want to bust to break through your income ceiling and earn more money. And after I gave the masterclass, I thought this information is so important and so valuable. I want to share it with my podcast listeners because I know from working with so many clients that people have drama around their price. And the first thing that they think is wrong with their business when their business isn't making enough money or as much as they're hoping for, they're not meeting their income goals, is that their price is too high. And it kills me. I mean, not literally, but I even had this with my clients this week, my Wired for Wealth coaching clients, where one of my clients was experiencing just a couple of weeks of a dry spell, or they're getting a series of no's on their sales conversations. And the first thing that pops up into their minds is that they should lower their price. And my thought is, no, your price is not just a single price, a number, something that your clients pay now. A price that you charge your clients is the reflection of the long-term value that your client is going to receive. It's not just a one and done. And part of your job as a business owner is to help your potential clients, your prospects, appreciate how much impact and influence your products and your services are going to have on their life for the next 5 years or 10 years. And I gave a couple of examples in this masterclass. So I'm going to zoom you into the masterclass so that you can hear about these 5 pricing myths because I really want you to make more money in your business. All right, let's go. So the number one myth that I hear from so many of my clients and other people, even clients who reach out to work with me, and they're inquiring about my one-on-one work or they're inquiring about my group program is, it's a lot of money. And what I want to share with you is your price is a number. It's a neutral number. It's not a lot. It's not a little. Your price just is. And when you go to the store or when you reach out to a different service provider or someone who's selling products, right, goods, services, they have a price and it is simply a neutral number. And you get to decide, or your clients get to decide if that number makes sense to them. But if we start thinking that our price is a lot of money, what that does is it blocks us from really understanding and connecting with the true long-term value of the work that we do in the world. Because your service or the product that you sell is worth what it can do for your clients, your customers, for the buyers that are coming to you over the long term. There are long-term results that your clients receive, and it's never the price that they pay. And I'd like to share this example. 5 years ago, my husband and I bought new beds. We just had our 34th wedding anniversary a few months ago. Mazal tov to us, God willing, another 34. And my husband was having a lot of back problems. One of our children got married at the time, and he was having such painful back problems, he couldn't even dance at our son's wedding. That's how severe his back pains were. So we went to get new beds, new mattresses, because the other ones we'd had for 29 years, and it was time. And we didn't really pay attention to the price because his back pains were so severe. It was just non negotiable at that time. And again, the price wasn't what we paid at that time, but we've been using those mattresses for 5 years now. I love my bed. I was in North America just now for 3 weeks. I can't tell you how happy I was to get back to my own bed. No more hotels. I even was at my parents' house for 6 nights, but it wasn't my bed. And I love my mattress so much because the long-term value of having a good quality mattress is way more important to me than an extra $100 here or there that I'm going to pay one time for the price. And that's important for you to recognize also. Whatever you are selling, there's going to be a long-term value and results that your clients are going to receive. Even something as like small as a glass, right? I paid once for this glass. We've had it for many years. It's one of the few of this set that hasn't broken yet, right? And I hope that I didn't give myself an Einhara and it's not going to break now. But that glass has a value because it holds water for many, many, many years. It's not just the price that I pay for that one time. So if you're a service provider, again, if like for me as a business coach, helping my clients grow their businesses, once they can create their first $10,000 or $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in their business, those are results that they can repeat over and over and over again for multiple years. It's not the one-time payment, but they get to change who they are as a business owner for many years to come. So there is a long-term result. And when you're thinking about the price that you're charging, don't think in terms of it's a lot of money. Think in terms of what is going to change in my client's life or business for the long term. So here's how you can reframe your thoughts about your price. Number one, all prices are neutral. They're neither a lot nor a little. They just are. The context matters. For example, when my husband's back was in pain, it was important. Like we needed to go and get new mattresses. When I didn't need a mattress, right? If it had been a month earlier or 2 months earlier, the mattresses we were using were fine. And I wouldn't have gone to pay that price. But once there's that, they talk about pain points in marketing. There was a very big pain point. So the context matters. So really think about what you're offering your client. What is the context? Do they want it? Do they need it? Do they desire it? But if you think about, going out to get a mattress when you are in physical pain, that's very different from going out and like buying some new decorative pillows to put on the couch in your house because it's going to make your house look pretty. So the context is very important. And so your price isn't just that one-time price someone's going to pay, but there's a long-term value of your price and of your offer. And the value is in the eyes of the buyer. Now, you as the business owner, as the service provider or the one who's selling the products, you have to help your clients really appreciate the value. When my husband was in pain, they didn't have to do too much. We just laid down on like 3 or 4 different mattresses and we're like, yep, this is the one. And thank God it is. But you have to help your clients to appreciate the value if they can't see it, if they're focused on the price. And your belief in your deliverables matters, and it matters a lot. When you're in that selling relationship with your potential clients, your belief is what you're going to transmit and transmute to your potential clients. And that's what sells your offer. It's not the price. It's your belief that you can help your clients get the results that they want. And here are some of my clients' results. Right, one of my clients, recently raised her prices for her offer to $1,800, and she's getting clients signing up with her. Here's one of my clients, and she raised her prices, and she, was booked at her new price. And there we go. We have another client who sharing her prices. Like my clients, when they come to me, we usually raise their prices by 50, 60, even 100%. And thank God my clients are getting amazing results and they're signing clients at their newer, higher prices. Pricing myth, number 2, is it makes sense to crowdsource my price. You can look at my face in this picture. I'm like, I don't really think it makes sense to crowdsource your price. Usually what happens is you're going to go out and ask a bunch of friends, what do they think about your price? But again, if your friends are not in the same industry, dealing with the same clients, they're going to bring all of their money blocks into their pricing. They might, like, imagine if I'd gone out to my neighbor and asked, do you think this is a good price for a mattress? She might be like, no, I would never pay that much for a mattress. Or if somebody, let's say you're a business coach like I am, and they would say, well, what about, Debbie's price for her business coaching? Does that make sense? My neighbor's not in business. So my neighbor's a teacher. My neighbor might think it's like a lot of money for a business coach and doesn't understand the value of the coaching that I do. When you're crowdsourcing your price with a bunch of other people, number one, they're going to bring their money blocks in. They're not your clients. Generally, the people that are going to be the best reflection of the value of the work that you do are the people that you're selling to. Can you help them understand the value? And if you go and you stalk the market, you can look at what your competitors are doing, but they might be in business longer than you. They might be in business less than you. They might have different certifications, different life experience. Your life experience also matters, right? When I think about my offer and just the fact that I've had experience working on a trading floor on Wall Street and I understand investing and I have that practical, understanding of money, that's very different from most of the people in my industry. So it's going to be very hard to compare apples to apples. You're always going to be comparing apples to oranges when you're trying to crowdsource your price. So stop doing that. Work with a coach who can give you honest feedback about your offer. And this is how I want you to frame it. There's really no one in the world who does exactly what you do. Again, everybody comes with their life experience, and there's life experience that makes you more resilient. There's life experience that makes you stronger, that gives you more intuition. You've worked with different types of people, right? And you've had different training, education, certifications. People are gifted with intuition. Some people have it, and some people are way more practical. And you have your specific family of origin and your God-given gifts, right? You were created in the image of God. God is infinite. Today, there are 8 billion people on the planet, and there's not any other person in the world today who is exactly like you, and there never will be another you. So stop crowdsourcing your prices because you're not going to get feedback from your people. When you have to go out into the world and sell your offer, your price and the way you sell it has to do with your money blocks, your resistance, and your thoughts about your price. And then you can get feedback from your clients to see, is there some tweaking in your sales process or the price that you might have to make? And here's another reframe, is to stop focusing on your competition. If you're one of those people that like stalks your competition and trolls them and tries to figure out what they're charging and maybe even what ideas they have, stop it. Stop asking people who don't need or want what you're offering and just come back home. Come back to you. Come back to someone who's on your side, who understands business, who can help you figure out what's the right price for you to be offering today at this stage of your business. All right, money myth number 3 is it takes time to raise your prices. So here's how I feel about that. If you all got the chills about that, that's how I feel about it takes time to raise your prices. People think that, oh, I just raised my prices 3 months ago. I just raised my prices 6 months ago. I just lowered my prices. We're going to be talking about raising prices and lowering prices. It doesn't take time to raise your prices, because if you have a price and you've got 20 people booked out to use your services, for example, or you're selling like hotcakes the product that you sell, it shows that there's demand for what you're offering. And if the demand is so high so quickly for what you're offering, or maybe it's been taking a long time for you to sell it and you might need to slow down and evaluate your sales process, but you can change your price whenever you want. As a business owner, you get to decide when is the right time, the optimal time for you to change your price. Time doesn't matter. Your certifications or your degrees don't matter. I mean, they do give you background. I don't want to say that you don't need any training or any certification, but what your clients are really looking for is the results that you help them achieve. If you're a copywriter, for example, right, can you help them by writing copy that's going to convert potential clients into actual clients? If you're a website designer, are you creating a website that's easy to manage? The customer journey when people land on your website is easy, or do they click links and the links are broken? Or is it slow to load, for example? The results that your clients get is what matters. And so that's what people are paying attention to. And again, we talked about in myth number one, it's the long-term value of the results. It's not that one-time price. So don't think that if you've had the same prices for 3 months, you're not allowed to change them. Or don't think that you have to wait 4 years. And just because we're in a recession right now, you can't raise your prices. There are people and companies, businesses that are raising their prices right now. I mean, the stock market is already up like 20% this year, a little bit more. So that means that there is inflation and prices are rising. Just because we're in a recession doesn't mean that you cannot raise your prices. Myth number 4 is that you are responsible for your clients' results. And I know I might get a little bit of pushback on this one, especially if you're in a service-based business, is that you have to help your clients get results. And I want to think about like my personal trainer. I work out with a personal trainer who unfortunately is leaving me and moving to the United States in a month and a half, and I have to go get a new one. But I'm the one who has to show up. If I show up 15 minutes late consistently, time after time after time, and if I don't push myself when I go to work out with my personal trainer, like she's not sitting there with like a bat over my head pushing me to get results. Of course, she's going to do her maximum effort, but your clients also have a responsibility to put in their maximum effort. And my dad had back surgery in March. If he doesn't go to physical therapy to help him get better, whatever the surgeon did, which thank God was very successful, and he's walking 2-3 miles a day already, right? But if he doesn't do his physical therapy and get himself out of bed, it doesn't matter how amazing his surgeon is. My dad's long-term results are just not going to happen, even though the surgeon did his maximum on the surgery. When you believe that your client's results are 100% in your hands, right, you're going to become the savior, right? You're going to turn them into needy, or you might even turn them into a victim. It depends on the relationship that you're having with your clients. But what ends up happening is you're going to disempower your clients. You're not going to believe that they're strong, that they're resilient, that they can get results. And you might be overworking to people please your clients and help them get, the results when they're adults and they're thinking and they can actually do some of the work themselves to get themselves the results. And when you believe that it's in your hands, 100%, that's when your ego gets let loose, where ego is edging God out. You're forgetting that there is a divine creator who really operates and gives us all the success that we do and don't have in the world. All right. So here's what I want you to believe, that your clients are 100% whole and they're capable and they too are committed to success. And I want you to believe in yourself, believe in your offer and your ability to get your clients' results, and believe in God's divine providence. We show up and we do our maximum. As I said, we do our hishtadlus, we put our maximum effort into the work that we do, and we give it over to God because the success is in His hands. And be willing to feel uncomfortable. That means when you're quoting your price and when you're not overworking and you're giving things over to your clients and handing it off to them and hoping that they're going to, do the work that they're supposed to do, their homework, however you want to call it, like just you can be a little bit uncomfortable and trust harder in God and trust harder in your clients that they can actually get the results that they came from. Like imagine if you're an artist and somebody bought a beautiful painting that you painted. You met them 6 months ago and said, how do you like that artwork in your home? And they're like, oh, well, actually, we actually didn't get around to hanging it yet, right? That can feel very uncomfortable, but you're not going with the hammer and nails and banging it into the wall to make sure that your client hangs the painting that you painted. I mean, maybe you'll offer that as an add-on service. You're going to bring your crew over to make sure that it gets put up, but really be willing to let go of the reins and be uncomfortable a little bit in your offer. You don't have to dot all the I's and cross all of the T's for the clients. I'm not saying be negligent, but you can't do everything. Your clients are also responsible for their end of the bargain. Okay, pricing myth number 5 is you have to honor your old price. Prices go up, prices go down, especially in 2024 when we're in a recession. Prices go up or down. But I had a client who told me that his client had come to him like 15 months ago and he had quoted a price. And he said to me, do I have to honor this price? I'm like, no. Right? Just because you gave someone a quote 15 months ago and they haven't acted on it until now, like prices go up and down based on inflation, based on your availability, based on demand. based on, again, the economic environment. There are many prices that, if there's a clearance sale, imagine you go into a store and yesterday that dress that you wanted to buy was $100 and today it's $50. Do you have to honor the old price like last week? Like, no, you want to buy it at $50 if it's on a 50% off sale. And if the price goes up to $150 because they were raising their prices, right? It's a new stock, a new line, or maybe it's the same thing at a higher price. The store also doesn't have to honor their old price. We can ask, we can say, hey, by the way, I was here a month ago and the price was $100. Will you honor that price? And if the answer is no, it's no. So if you give a quote, make sure that you put a time limit on your quote and you get to raise and lower your prices when it makes sense for you and for your business. And you can raise or lower your prices for new clients and existing clients. And this happens a lot with my coaching clients. They'll work with a client for 3 months or 6 months, and then it's going to come up to a renewal conversation. And their prices went up. In the meantime, they're like, well, do I have to offer her the old price? I'm like, no, your prices went up for all your new clients. You also get to raise your prices for your existing clients because you've been working for 6 more months. You have more experience. Your clients are getting better results or they're getting faster results. You don't have to honor your old prices. If you want to, you can. I would ask you why. I might challenge you on that. But the real question is like, why would you even consider keeping your prices the same if the value that you're offering your clients or the speed of the results that you're giving to your clients has improved? People pay for speed. People pay to collapse time and they pay for faster results. That's why we all love sending things by Amazon Prime because it gets there in 2 days if you live in the United States or even 1 day, right? I ordered something just now when I was in the States. It got there in less than 24 hours. How fun is that? Right? We pay for FedEx. So let's talk about your bonus, the bonus money block that we have. And that is money is scarce or that there's never enough money. And people really do walk around the planet believing that there's not enough money or they don't have the money gene or the people on the other side of the tracks or in a different neighborhood or somebody else like has enough money, but there's not enough for me. And this is something that is wired into your body, but there's like a scarcity feeling around money. And it's sort of like infusing. It's like bad perfume. You know how bad perfume, you go into a department store and it just like smells like cheap perfume sometimes, unless you're over by the Chanel #5 counter. But the scarcity is like living inside of you and you're believing that you never have to have enough and there's not enough and you like shy away from pricing conversations. So when you're feeling that scarcity in your subconscious mind and in your nervous system, that's something that's coming from your money lineage. And you want to explore that. Is it that money doesn't grow on trees? Was there fighting about money in your family? Was there really a situation where there wasn't enough money? And that's what your like inner belief is about money that's living inside your body. Because your family of origin story around money, plus any inherited generational trauma around money, is going to show up in your pricing and in your sales conversations. And you want to clear that so that it's not influencing you and you can really focus on the long-term value without like, maybe they're not going to buy, maybe I should discount it. And I've seen this with some of my clients recently. They'll sign new clients at their higher price and then they don't sign clients for a little bit and they'll be like, maybe I should lower my price. It's like, no, let's clear the blocks to money so that you can remember how valuable what you're doing is and you can go out there again and you can close those sales conversations. There's also this idea of negative consequences of wealth, right? If we make more money, and this often comes from things that we heard our parents say or grandparents say around money, people like live with fear of what other people are going to think. Like, oh, if I make more money, what are they going to think about me? What are they going to say about me? And people, instead of like doing our own work, we're like focused on what's happening all around us. Or we're afraid of becoming something or someone that we're not, like as if we're going to change. And my underlying belief is that money amplifies who you already are. If you're a generous person, more money is going to allow you to be more generous. If you're a miserly person, more money is going to mean you're going to hold on to it even tighter because money is just a thing. It's a tool. It's neutral. It's pieces of paper with like plastic coating in different colors. Money is not inherently good or bad. It's just a tool. It just is. Another thing that people are afraid of is their fear of what more money will do to the kids, right? That it's going to spoil them, that it's going to make them lazy, that it's going to make them feel like privileged. And that's different from money. That's really comes to your parenting and how you parent your children. But again, it has nothing to do with money. If you have more money, it's a gift that you can help your kids and involve them in the conversation. Say, hey, let's see together where we can give. Who do we want to support? What do we want to do with our money that will help other people thrive or rise or, get out of debt? So that's something that is a parenting situation, has nothing to do with the money. And then there's the fear of managing money. Again, it comes down to your savings and your investing, your taxes. If you have more money, people are like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have all those scary conversations and talk to accountants. If I have no money, I don't need to worry about it. Yeah, that's true. And if you have more money, then you get to take care of your future self with it. And it's just a new language that you get to learn. Some people move from the United States to Israel like I did, and we learn Hebrew. Other people jump into the money world and they have to learn about stocks and bonds and investments and returns and taxes and things like that. But you can learn about managing money. It's not rocket science. It is pretty simple, basic math once you understand it. And most adults can figure out the basics of managing money so that they can have an intelligent conversation with an investment manager or with a financial planner if they've done just a little bit of work. But you shouldn't be afraid of earning money because you might have to manage money. So let's just have a reframe for this money block or myth around money. Number one is God is unlimited, right? He's infinite, he's unlimited, and there is an inexhaustible supply of money in the world. I can buy from the local store, and then people that work in the store get paid, and also the manufacturers and all of the people who are doing the packaging of the products. Like if I just go to the store and I buy a carton of milk, there are so many different people in that supply chain, from the farmers and the people taking care of the cows and who's supplying the food to the cows and then milking the cows and the machinery for milking the cows and, who produces the cartons and the trucks that take it to the supermarket. Just think about how money moves around the world. Just a few dollars can be circulated around and around and around. There really is an inexhaustible supply of money in the world. When it comes down to you personally, just remember that people want to pay you money. Do all people want to pay you money? No, all people do not want to pay you money, but some people want to pay you money, especially if you're trustworthy, you're authentic, you're in integrity, you're an honest person, and you create that know, like, and trust factor with your clients. People will want to pay you money because they want the results that you offer. And when people want results, they go to people that they trust. They're not going to go to charlatans. They're not going to go to people that are, listen, some people do get sucked in. What can I say? But at the end of the day, people want to change their future. They want results. And when you believe that your clients are divinely contracted to work with you, and this is a thought that I love thinking, not everybody in the world is going to work with me, and that's fine. But God has already figured it out. And there are people who are divinely contracted to work with me. And my work in the world is to help them find me, to open the channels for my clients to come and find me and work with me. And when I make more money, nothing bad happens. And especially as women, and it's only about the last 100 years that women have joined the workforce in large numbers, in droves. So we don't have thousands of years of history like men of being in the working world. But we really have to believe that nothing bad happens when women make more money. Our families don't suffer. Our partners don't suffer. We don't suffer. When women make more money, we're such heart-centered giver people that the world benefits when women make more money. So let's give a recap of the 5 pricing myths that we've talked about today so that you're going to walk away with these very strong beliefs. Number 1 is that all prices are neutral. Number 2, there will never be another you. You're unique, you're special, you are a one in a gazillion creation. God created you with a purpose and a mission in this world, and there is nobody on this earth today, there never was, and there never will be anybody like you. You are unique. When people work with you, they're paying for the results that you're offering. They're not paying for your time. So if you want to raise your prices after 3 months or 6 months or 3 weeks or 6 weeks, it's okay because people want the results that you give them. And your clients are also perfect and they're whole and they're powerful. Your clients help themselves get the results that they want. And you're allowed to raise your prices or lower your prices if you're feeling like it's a tough time because of the recession and you're in more of a luxury industry and people aren't buying luxury goods at the moment, you can also lower your prices. All right, my friends, that is the end of the webinar, the masterclass for today. Thank you so much for tuning into today's masterclass. I hope that you learned a lot about your pricing and your thoughts about pricing and how much flexibility you have to charge more for the valuable services you share with your clients. And I also want you to know that right now, my group coaching program, Wired for Wealth, is open for enrollment. Wired for Wealth is a lifetime access group coaching program for women where I help you create a signature offer that your ideal clients will love, a high ticket offer, and I help you learn how to master having sales conversations so that you stop feeling awkward when you get on the line. And the first thought that comes into your mind is not, I need to lower my price in order to sign more clients. So many of my clients, when we start working together, they're really nervous and worried about their prices, and they don't understand that they're barely making a living wage in their business. I help them understand the long-term effects of the prices they're charging for themselves and their family. And so many of my clients double their prices within a few months of starting to work together. Wired for Wealth, we focus on 3 main core activities. 1, you going out marketing for your business. And I know that so many women don't want to market. They don't want to be visible. They don't want to be vulnerable. It feels uncomfortable. So we help you to master the marketing process. And then when you've created your signature offer at a price that feels good to you and your ideal clients, you learn how to sell it, always coming from a place of service for your clients and their future. And finally, we master money. The way you manage your money, your mindset around money, really the thoughts you think about money. I want you to bust through your limiting beliefs and your money blocks. And I want you to heal generational trauma, any family of origin stories around money that need to be rewritten and rewired in your mind and in your body. We focus on money because if you are a business owner, the way to know that you have a sustainable business is that you have profits. If you're a hobby business, then you might not be making profits or you might not be making as much money as you could. So please go to my website, debbiesasson.com/wealth. You will learn how I help you break down the overwhelm around creating a business and have a step-by-step process to market, sell, and master your money. I look forward to seeing you on the other side, and I will see you on the Jewish Entrepreneur Podcast next week. Bye-bye for now. Thanks for listening to the Jewish Entrepreneur Podcast. If you want to stop underselling and under-earning and close more sales, you need to clear the limiting money beliefs that are sabotaging your business growth. Head on over to debbiesasson.com/mindset and download my free Money Mindset Workbook. Uncover and dissolve money blocks like hundreds of other entrepreneurs who are now building 6, multi-6, and 7-figure businesses and creating true financial freedom.